A bit of a rumor here. It broke yesterday before Dynamite per Andrew Zarian and Matt Men podcast. AEW is going to be introducing a secondary women's championship apparently soon. So he started out the tweet by saying, I hear rumors of a new title coming to AEW. And I'm thinking, cool. Like tonight we're going to get the confirmation that a trios title is coming to AEW. And I was never really high on that idea when AEW first started 2 years ago. But they have so many tag teams, dude. They have so many people on their roster and so many factions. I think a trios title, honestly, at this point would be great. Unfortunately, that's not what it is. And no disrespect to their women's division, which is growing. They headlined the show last night, and that's great. I see no reason for a secondary women's championship right now. I think he later clarified it would be called the TBS Championship. Maybe it would end up on Rampage. I mean, all their shows are going to TBS next year, not just Dynamite. It's Rampage and Dynamite. TBS, TNT, ABC, it doesn't matter to me. I think another women's championship at this point, dude, whether it's a mid-card title or even a tag team title, I think is completely stupid. A lot of these promotions, Impact has done a women's tag team title recently and has actually done it right. WWE's is completely pointless. NXT's is completely pointless. I just see no reason for a secondary women's title right now in AEW or even a tag team title. I just feel like it's way too soon for that when their division is still a work in progress.
I completely agree. I saw that. I was like, dude, they have been doing well with their champions, but like once a champion loses that belt, they become so obscure that you don't even realize they're in the company anymore. Like, I love Sheeta. She had like over a year reign, and now she's on Dark. I couldn't even tell you the last time she was on Dynamite.
She wasn't. She hasn't.
Exactly. And I mean, I think they have done pretty well, like featuring women on Rampage as well. But I don't know. I just feel like the women, they don't need a secondary belt. Like, you're either the best or you're not. I don't know. I don't even really like the trios idea because I'm not a huge fan of that. But like, I think that's a better idea than a secondary women's belt.
So with the secondary women's belt, the problem is that, like you said, they've done a better job, I think, of featuring their women on the show lately. But like, let's be honest here. If you watch Dynamite, you watch Rampage, beyond the current Ty Conti, Anna Jay, Bunny, Penelope Ford feud, what other secondary feuds do we currently have in the women's division? Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose, maybe? I mean, do we even have a secondary? And they have a lot of women at this point, dude. I don't really think there's much of an excuse for not having a secondary women's feud beyond the Anna Jay, Ty Conti stuff. So, I mean, how can you justify creating a secondary women's title if you don't have another women's feud? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. I've seen more praise for this than negativity, so.
Oh, I mean, it's AEW. I'm not surprised, yeah.
I just don't think they focus, like, on Dynamite. You usually only get, like, Britt Baker or whatever she's involved in, which should be happening. She's a champion, but, I mean, like you said, besides the little tag team feud that they're having right now, there really isn't much going on, so I'm kind of surprised they're bringing another championship.
Yeah, and they have a lot of talented women. It's not a bad idea in theory. Like, you know, we've talked for years about women's tag team titles in WWE, specifically back when they had factions and more teams, and then it just kind of completely fell apart. And even in NXT, like, there was just no reason for it. Like, especially in WWE, when you have the women's divisions on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, it should have been a traveling set of titles. And now you have Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash as the current champions as of Monday. We'll talk about that later, but I don't know. I just don't see a current need for that type of thing in AEW.